We have more people joining us. Hey, Brenda, can you hear me?
We hear you.
Let's give it 1 more minute for us to join us, then we can get started officially. Okay, guys, so welcome officially to today's section. So, guys, I believe the past 4 days has been really amazing and educative. So tonight we have with us Brenda. Brenda is the founder of Whispernode validator, and tonight he will be talking about cryptocurrencies, its use cases and construction mechanism, and some more exciting things you guys need to know about cryptocurrency and wallets as well, and tools around cryptocurrencies. So, Brenda, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your backgrounds. Then we can dive into tonight's discussion. Thank you.
Sure, sounds good. Thanks, Pope. My name is Brendan Kittredge, and I operate Whispernode, and we are a validator on around 30 networks now, I believe. I think what I'll try to do today is, I think you guys have learned a little bit about, Web3 and what blockchain is. So I'll start off by just talking about the basics of blockchain, and then the different consensus mechanisms. We'll talk a little bit about what proof of work is, what proof of stake is, and then what the validator's role in Web3 is. So, Pope, should I just take it away from there?
Sir,
Keep going?
you can. Of course, sir, you can. While Brenda is discussing, if you have any questions, do make use of the Telegram chat. There are questions in the Telegram chat, and all the questions will be answered, guys. Thank you. Brenda, you have the mic.
All right, yeah. Feel free to ask or tell me to slow down. I'll try to make things, as basic as possible and easy to understand. So let me see if this, I need to change my computer settings really quick, so I can share my screen, I think. Let's see. I'll be right back. I just need to reopen.
Okay, no problem.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I just needed to allow Telegram to record my screen. Here we go. Let's see. Perfect. All right. Can everyone see the screen?
You can.
Perfect. So, as you guys probably learned, what a blockchain is it's essentially a database. So if you think about what a bank does, a bank just has a large database where they keep track of all of the transactions that their customers are participating in. So if person A sends money to person B, they update the database with the new balances. The purpose of a blockchain is to take that idea of a database, but take the control away from a single entity. So in the case of the bank, for example, if there was a bank with bad intentions, or maybe the government was corrupt and they passed some laws that they didn't want to serve certain customers or whatnot, they could take away their money without anyone being able to stop them. They could just go into that database, and say your new balance, person A, is $0. So the purpose of a blockchain is to make sure that those balances can't be altered by one party. And that's, what the whole decentralization idea is behind Web3. So how does a blockchain work? Its first step is a transaction is requested from person A to person B. Those new balances go into something called a block, which a block could have multiple transactions. So person A could be sending money to person B could be sending money to person C, person D could be sending money back to person A. And really just, it could be a whole group of transactions, and that can be included in one block. And then what happens is that block is sent to every node in the network. Now, a node is just a person like myself, like Whispernode, around the world who is running this set of software to validate the transactions. And then what happens is once those new, balance updates of what everyone has, how much money each person has, all of the nodes in the network, they run, complex algorithms and whatnot, and they verify that they are getting the same answer. So, person A has the same balance and person B has the same balance across every node in the network. That's the basic idea of a blockchain. And once they all agree on the new balances of all the participants, that block is added to the blockchain, and that reflects all of the new balances. Does that make sense to everybody? All right. I don't see any questions. So in the case of Bitcoin, all of these nodes, all of these different computers around the world, they are rewarded to participate and be a node on the network, because if they're the computer, if they're the server that proposes that block, they're called miners in the case of Bitcoin, and they are rewarded with some Bitcoin for proposing that block if it's accepted by all of the other nodes around the world. And what happens is all of those servers, all of those nodes, they're competing to propose that block by solving really complex mathematical equations in the case of Bitcoin. And those equations, they just get harder and harder and harder as time goes on. And therefore, the miners or the nodes in the network, they need more and more computing power. They need better computers to solve those problems faster and faster and be the one that proposes that block. So in the case of Bitcoin, that's called proof of work consensus algorithm. And that's how they decide what server is proposing that next block. And this has been a good way to operate a blockchain for years and years. But the problem becomes as those math problems become more and more complex and more computing power is needed, it can have really bad effects on things like the environment, because now we need these huge buildings with computers in them, and all they're doing is solving math problems for Bitcoin. So all around the world, we're using lots and lots of energy just so we can have this blockchain network. So you can see that as we get further and further into the future, that's not going to really be a very sustainable way to have all of these different blockchains. If we had all of blockchains running on proof of work, we're going to do a lot of environmental damage. We're going to be wasting a lot of computer hardware like GPUs and CPUs, and it's just not a very long-term view. So what newer blockchains are starting to do, and what something like Ethereum has just done, for example, if you guys have heard of Ethereum and learned about that at all, is they're transitioning to something called proof of stake. And that is a different way for all of these nodes in the network to agree on the new balances in a block and to compete with each other on who is going to propose that block to the blockchain. So I don't have the greatest, I apologize, I don't have the greatest visuals. I didn't have time to put together a presentation, but I'll try to walk through it with some words and some websites here. So what is proof of stake and how is it different from proof of work in a blockchain? So as I mentioned, proof of work is using more and more computing power to solve complex math equations. Now, what proof of stake is instead participants, nodes, or validators, as they're called in proof of stake, they all have, these networks all have tokens associated with them. And the users of the network, like yourselves and anyone else using the network, they can buy those tokens and they can do what's called staking them with a validator or with a node. And as a validator or a node gets more tokens staked with them, they get voting power in the network. So Whispernode, for example, just say on a certain network, we may have 1 million tokens out of 100 million tokens. So that gives us 1% of the voting power. And so when we go back to that diagram, Whispernode would be one of these computers validating the blocks, and we would essentially be proposing 1% of the blocks to the network. All right, hopefully that makes sense so far. The other thing to keep in mind that I didn't really touch on, but that's really important here is I mentioned that no one server or one node can decide on these new balances, right? No one can mess with the database. They could mess with the database, however, if they owned a certain number of the nodes on the network or a certain amount of the computing power on the network. In the case of Bitcoin, if you have more than 50% of the computing power on the network, you can attack the network and make false blocks, basically. You could give yourself all the money in the world and take it away from everyone else if you own 51% of the voting power or the computing power in case of proof of work. In proof of stake, you would need to control 51% of the voting power. So as I mentioned, if there's 100 million tokens for a certain network, you would need to control just over 50 million of those tokens on your server, on your node, to attack the network and make those false entries. So it's a different security model for proof of stake versus proof of work. Now, those 50 million tokens, for example, they may cost $1 each. Let's just say they cost $1 each. To attack the network, then, it would cost someone just over $50 million to attack the network. So you can see that proof of stake, that is how they handle security, in that the tokens are worth a certain amount of money. You would need to control a certain number of those tokens to make an attack. And it becomes harder and harder to make that attack the more expensive your tokens are, I guess is one way to put it. I'm just going to check the chat here, see if there's any questions. It looks like we're moving along. No one has any questions on that? Looks like Chai Marie is typing. Just give him a second there. All right. Well, while Chai Marie types, I'll go back to the chat. But hopefully, on a basic level, that explains the difference between proof of work and proof of stake. There's a lot more details. There's a lot more cryptography, but I think for a beginner, group, I just want to keep it as easy as possible. So, in proof of stake networks, we're using these tokens, like I mentioned, that anyone can buy on exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, Crypto.com. All of these exchanges, you can buy all of these proof of stake tokens. And then you can stake them with a validator. And when you stake them with a validator, what they'll do is, as an incentives for you to do that, you will earn a certain percentage of tokens back. So if you are, an investor, you can invest in a project you really believe in, and then you can buy those tokens. You can stake them with a validator like Whispernode or any others on a lot of different networks, and you can earn more tokens by staking them. So Whispernode, just to give you guys an idea, now I'll kind of get into some other things that Whispernode does and networks that we're on. So if I go to MintScan, this is a block explorer page here, and I've just typed in Whispernode, and I'm just looking at some of the networks we're on, and we are on all of these different networks. You can see Say Network, Axelar, Cosmos, Secret, Injective, Archway, Osmosis, and so on. And there's all of these different networks now, and these are all Cosmos networks. These are all proof of stake networks that operate with this consensus model that I mentioned. So any of these networks, they have tokens like Say token, Axel token, the Atom token for Cosmos, SCRT for Secret Network, INJ for Injective. All of these tokens can then be staked with validators, and you would earn commissions on those. And you can see here, these are all the commission rates for Whispernode on all these different networks. That's kind of what the validator charges as a fee to the users that are staking with them. All right, let me check. Could it network? Oh, Chai Marie says, can a 51% attack be possible on a blockchain that has an inflationary token? So yes, it can. You would just need 51% of the current supply that's staked. You would have to stake 51% of the voting power, and then you could make a malicious vote on the network and outvote all of the other nodes because you control 51% of the voting power. And Big Boss is saying, which is better, proof of work or proof of stake? So I would say that proof of work is typically, it was the original consensus mechanism. And with Bitcoin, for example, and some of the larger proof of work chains, it is more secure because it's very, 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 very hard at this point to buy enough computer power to attack the Bitcoin network, for example. Whereas proof of stake, some of these networks only have a total token value of $2 million, for example. So you could attack a network that has $2 million total value in it for $1 million, if that makes sense. So the smaller the network, the less money it costs to buy the token, essentially, the easier it is to attack. So going back to all of these Cosmos networks, right? Cosmos is an ecosystem of proof of stake chains. All of these things listed here that we validate for are their own chains with their own tokens. And in Cosmos, what's really unique about Cosmos is each of these chains here performs a different function. These aren't just blockchains like Bitcoin, where they are tracking money being sent from person A to person B. They all have very, very interesting use cases. And I think you guys are going to learn about a lot of these different use cases throughout this course. You've probably heard about Secret Network, for example. Pope, have they had someone from Secret Network present yet?
Yeah, Shin has presented already.
Okay, great. So you guys have learned about Secret Network, for example. That is a privacy-focused blockchain. So let's maybe touch on. I'm going to touch on now wallets really quickly, and see if I can make this presentation make sense and have some sort of direction. So, where do you get these tokens? You get these tokens on exchanges, for example, or decentralized exchanges. And where do you keep them? So, right, you're gonna need a wallet to keep these tokens in. So there's many different wallets in Web3. I think you guys might have learned. Have they learned about wallets yet, Pope?
And
All right. So I'm not sure what you guys have learned about the wallets, but let's say you've bought some of these tokens on an exchange, and then you're going to transfer them into a wallet. And we'll start with MetaMask, for example. Here, if I click this little fox, it's metamask.io is their website. MetaMask is pretty much the biggest wallet for Ethereum and Arbitrum and all the tokens that are on the Ethereum network can be held in MetaMask wallet. So I recommend that anyone new to crypto, you probably want to have a MetaMask wallet. They have a mobile version as well, so you can have it on your phone. Just go to metamask.io. You download it on your phone. And I'm just going to show you guys what it's like when you create a new wallet. So I've installed this into Google Chrome. You can see the little fox icon here. And if I go and create a new wallet here, so I'm just going to name this Secret Africa Test. Oh, sorry. That is not going to work. So you can create as many wallets as you want in MetaMask. What I wanted to show isn't going to work because my private keys are already saved. So let's do Kepler instead. So Kepler at Kepler.io. Nope, it is not Kepler.io. What is it? Kepler.app. Yes. Okay. So Kepler wallet, Kepler.app. This is the main wallet for the Cosmos. You can hold any of these tokens that Whispernode validates on, any of these Cosmos chains pretty much, in Keplr wallet. So this is another really good wallet to have on your phone if you're interested in proof of stake and staking. So I've installed Keplr on the mobile up here, and I'm going to sign in. So you would set a password, hopefully remember your password, and I'm going to click on add wallet. So and I'm going to pretend that, you know, I'm a new user signing up, and I'm going to add a wallet here. You can also connect a hardware wallet. That's something like if you're using a Ledger or a Trezor. I'm not going to go into what the hardware ones are. So we're going to create a new wallet here. And you can sign up with a Google account. I don't recommend necessarily signing up with a Google account. You're connecting it to your social media and things like that. I recommend creating a new recovery phrase. And now what's key here is when you're creating this recovery phrase, when you create a wallet, these are like your private keys. They unlock all of the tokens on all of these blockchains. And you don't want to ever share your keys with anyone, no matter why they're asking you, even if you're having, you know, problems on an exchange, you're having problems using a certain application, you're going to get lots of scammers coming asking you, oh, hey, I'll help you recover your tokens. Just send me your key phrase. Never, ever show that to anyone. And also make sure that you back it up and keep a copy of it somewhere yourself. So, you know, write it down, put it under your mattress, you know, where you sleep, something like that. Just make sure that you have this recovery phrase, because if, you know, you lose your phone or, you know, the application has an error or something happens, you're going to need that phrase to recover your wallet and to get access to your funds. So these would be the seed phrases for creating my new wallet. So I would copy them to, you know, somewhere safe. So I'm just going to put them here for a second. All right. And click next. And then it's going to make sure that I'm writing them down somewhere. It's going to ask me for the first word, which was basket, and the fourth word, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, roof. And I'm going to call this Secret Africa Test Wallet. Click next. All right. And you can see here now with this Keplr wallet, I get access. It can hold tokens or the private keys for tokens for any of those Cosmos networks. And these are all proof of stake networks that Whispernode validates on. So I'm just going to import all 58 of them. Click save. And now I have this new Keplr wallet here, Secret Africa Test Wallet. And okay, thanks, Pope. Yeah, you can install from Play Store, and you can download Keplr on Google Play. Yep. All right. So that's how to install the Keplr wallet. You can see it's very easy. The main thing you need to remember, just remember to write down those recovery words and to never, ever share those with anyone. You can see here I have 0 balances for any of these tokens. So what I want to show you guys next is what to do if you've bought some of those tokens and you now have them in your wallet, how to stake them. So I'm going to switch wallets. I think I have, I think I have, yeah, some tokens in here. Perfect. Okay, you can see. So I've switched it to an old wallet that I have, and I have a bunch of tokens in here from all of these networks. So let's just pick a network. We'll pick secret network. Why not? Oops. So I don't want to send. I want to.
I think Kepler changed the UI recently, so you have to click on stake.
They did. Yeah, I was looking for the stake button. Hope, how does the mobile work well?
Yeah, the mobile wallet works well. I've used it a few times and it's good, not bad.
Oh, I don't like how they don't have the stake in the wallet now. Interesting. So what is it? Kepler dashboard. All right. So what you'll have to do now, it used to be in the wallet, I believe, but now you have to go to wallet.kepler.app once you have that wallet installed. And I can go to any of these chains, for example, Secret Network. You can see it shows my balance of 7.3 Secret. And if I'm on the staking page here, and I can search for a validator or choose from the list. So I'm going to choose Whispernode. And when I click the validators down here, so I can click, anyone from the list, click on that, and then I click the stake button. It's gonna say we're a top 10 validator. So to improve the decentralization, stake with someone else. You don't have to listen to that advice, but let's just say you do. We'll pick Crypto Crew here instead. So I click the staked button, and I'm going to stake one of those 7 secret. You can see that on Secret Network, I am earning 23.73% more secret tokens for staking. So if I leave, if I stake 100 tokens, for example, well, it's not going to let me. I don't have that balance. But if I stake 100 tokens for the entire year, at the end of the year, I'll get 23.73 tokens back. I'll get 23.73 more tokens. Crypto Crew is taking 5% of the tokens earned as a commission for staking with them. So always look at the validator's commission rate when you're staking with them as well. If they have something very high, like, I don't know, 10% to 20%, somewhere, usually over 10% is pretty high. And you're not going to be earning as much money as if you stake with someone that has a 5% commission. So just keep an eye on that. And when I stake those funds, they're going to be locked up on Secret Network for 21 days. That means if I want that one secret back that I'm going to stake, I can't get it back for 21 days, and I'll have to unstake it to get it back. So I'm going to click stake. And the wallet is going to ask me to approve that. And there we go. I've now staked that one secret with Crypto Crew. And if I want to get that one secret back, I can go here. It shows me shows me all of the validators that I have tokens staked with. I can go here and I can either stake more tokens with that validator from my wallet. I can redelegate tokens, which means I can switch from one validator to another. Maybe this crypto crew validator voted on a proposal in a way that I didn't like, and I want to, give my tokens to someone else. Or maybe another validator put out a video that I really like, and I want to support them and support their business. I can redelegate that secret to someone else. Now, if I want those tokens back, I can also click unstake, and you'll see that I'm not going to get those tokens back for 21 days. And in those 21 days, I'm not going to be earning any rewards. So I'll click unstake. And I approve that transaction. And now that will start the process of getting those tokens back. And you can see in Keplr, in the wallet.keplr.app, it shows me that those tokens are being unstaked and that they'll be available in 21 days there. So on a very basic level, that is all it takes to, get tokens. You would buy them from an exchange. You would download Keplr Wallet, and you would click this copy address button here, where it shows you all of your different addresses for each chain. So I was on Secret Network. So if I bought Secret on, say, Binance, I would go to the Binance page and click the withdraw button. And then in the wallet, I would paste my Secret address here, which you can see ends in 2RM2H. I would copy that, paste it into Binance, withdraw those tokens from Binance to my Keplr secret address, and then I can stake them on Secret Network, for example. And I can do that for any one of these Cosmos networks. So that is the basics of proof of work, proof of stake, how you can participate in the staking on a network and earn some more tokens by staking. Please explain the Binance and Secret Network side. Yes. So we probably haven't walked through any exchanges yet. Let's go. Let me see. What can I do for that? What you just said now concerning the network. Yeah, Dalu, I think what will help. So I need to explain where you get the tokens in the first place. So let me see.
Go ahead.
All right. So the easiest way to get any of these tokens is to sign up for an exchange where you can deposit dollars or your own currency into the exchange, and then you can buy the tokens on an exchange. I don't think, Pope, you haven't done anything on exchanges yet, have you?
haven't.
Okay. So you would go to some exchange. For example, here's one. This exchange is called Femex. There's a lot of different ones out there. There's Coinbase, Bybit, Kraken. There's probably hundreds of them. Some of them you need to register and provide a copy of your license, and they need to verify your identity and things like that. Others don't require you to do that. Femex is one that that does not require you to do that, but you would essentially be able to deposit. You would be able to deposit money in this exchange. So this is crypto deposits only, but let me see if it has. Yeah, so I would be able to go to this fiat page here. All right, it's not working very well on my computer right now, but let's say I could deposit $100 from my bank account into this exchange, and then I could go over here to like buy crypto and one click buy sell. So let's go. So then I could find all of those tokens that were in Keplr wallet, all those Cosmos tokens. They're on a lot of these exchanges. Not every single one is on all the exchanges. I don't think Secret, for example, is on this Femex exchange. It is on Binance. It is on Kraken. So you just need to find out where the token you want, what exchange has it. But this exchange does have, for example, it has Atom, which is the Cosmos token. So I can buy Atom on this exchange, and this is what an exchange looks like. I don't want to go too much into this because I think you guys should, Pope, you should cover like how to buy on an exchange probably one day.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Perfect. So, I could spend 100 US dollar coins, and you can see that I can buy this Atom token here for around $6.80. So yeah, I could buy Atom here for $6.80 with however much fiat that I have. And then I would then, every exchange will have some way to withdraw. So let's say, I do have 0.4 Atom there actually. So I can then withdraw the Atom that I bought with dollars, and then I can copy. I would copy, for example, for this one, it is Cosmos. So I copy that from my Keplr wallet. I would paste that wallet address in here, and I can withdraw my Atom here, right? So then I click withdraw. Usually they're going to make you have some sort of two-factor authentication just to make sure you're not being scammed and things like that. All right, so another thing they're going to do to make sure you're not getting scammed, they're going to send you an email to confirm, and all they're confirming is, do you want to take that 0.04 Atom that you bought on this exchange, and are you sure you want to send it to that wallet address that you typed in there? Because someone could have hacked someone could have found out your password for this exchange, and maybe they're trying to withdraw the funds to their wallet. You don't want that to happen. So they usually have some sort of two-factor authentication. They usually make you confirm that in an email as well. But once you confirm that, then those tokens that you bought for US dollars, that balance will then go into your Keplr wallet, and then you can do all those things that I was mentioning about staking with those tokens. Does that make sense, Dalu, is it? I know this is a lot. Yes, it's a lot.
Guys, there are videos on YouTube you guys can watch. Also, we have a workshop where we'll show you guys how to buy from some of these exchanges. So you guys can buy from these exchanges and how to send, how to copy your wallet address, the tokens you are buying, the wallet address that is supported, and some other stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And I'm happy, Pope, if people want, like, I'm happy to make some tutorial videos or something like that. It's really hard to explain all this stuff in 1 hour without, you know, without all of the things like an exchange account and all that set up. So I can help make a video if you want, if there's not any.
well, we can do that. So I don't want to take much of your time. You really sacrificed a lot of time for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, perfect. So Pope, you think that covers it?
Except anyone has any question. Please, if you have any questions, please do drop it in the Telegram chat. So before we just show you guys some other stuff you guys need to know. Thanks so much, Brenda, for joining us today, and the session has been amazing and educational. And thanks for simplifying it as well. So, guys, if you have any questions for Brenda, please drop into the meeting chat or request to speak. If there's anywhere you are lost or you don't understand, please do feel free to ask. Brenda, I think I have a question. So someone is asking that how would I know this is the wallet address I'm supposed to send, or how do I know this which wallet address belongs to this ecosystem? Because they are beginners, so they're asking how do they know this?
Yeah, with the wallet addresses, how would you know which one? Yeah, so for the Cosmos and for Kepler wallet, it's pretty easy. If I go to my Kepler wallet here and I click that copy address, you can see that for each network, the wallet address has the name of the network in the very beginning. So for Cosmos, for example, the wallet address starts with Cosmos. For Akash, it starts with Akash. For Axelar, it starts with Axelar. Cosmos Chains did a pretty good job of making it very easy to understand what wallet goes with what token. So, Juno starts with Juno. That applies for the Cosmos. If you're talking about Ethereum and some other blockchains, that may not be the case, but it is for Cosmos. It's very easy to understand and make sure that you're giving the right wallet address because it starts with the name of the project. If I don't want to confuse you too much, but that's easy for like all the Cosmos tokens. If you're doing a lot of these other tokens though are built on top of Ethereum or Binance chain, and there's all these different blockchains. So I'm trying to think of a good example, but you do need to be careful when you're withdrawing from the exchange that you're adding the right wallet, because if you put in the wrong wallet, those funds are gone forever and you're not getting you are not able to get them back. So you really need to make sure, and it'll usually tell you here if there's a token that's on multiple blockchains, for example, which wallet you're withdrawing to. So I can think of one, for example, Injective. Now, we mentioned that Injective is one of these tokens on Kepler. So if I type in Injective, you can see I have an Injective wallet here that starts with INJ. But you want to be very careful because that token is actually on the Ethereum network as well. It is an ERC20 token as well. So just make sure that you're choosing the injective network when you put in that injective wallet address. And some of these tokens, it'll have, you know, Binance chain as well. I think, for example, like USDC probably has a lot of them, right? So this US dollar coin, it's on the Tron network, it's on the Ethereum network, it's on Solana, and you just need to make sure that you're pasting the right wallet address in there.
That answers the question. Thank you so much, Brenda. Okay, let's give it a moment if anyone has any other questions before we move to some basic things which people want to see.
Six. Yeah, that's when it comes to scalability, what challenges do POS and POW face, and how are they being addressed? That is a pretty advanced question. I got into a little bit of that in the beginning when I was talking about proof of work and how proof of work networks need more and more computing power, where proof of stake doesn't. So that's just for the longevity of the network, which is a challenge. When you're talking scalability, I think you might be talking about like transactions per second. Is that right, Six? Or like how many transactions the network can do? So if I'll wait for your typing, Six. But if you are talking about scalability in terms of how many transactions per second a network can handle, the biggest challenge there is, as I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, you have to have every node on the network agreeing on these transactions. So the more nodes you add to a network, the more computers around the world that have to agree on a transaction, the slower that network is going to be. So the biggest challenge is the more decentralized, the bigger a network gets, the more servers that get involved, the longer it takes for them all to agree on a transaction. And that's the biggest challenge of proof of stake networks is they want to be decentralized because that is the whole mission of Web3, but you can't decentralize too much because then they become very slow as all of these servers have to agree on all the transactions. So they're finding sweet spots of numbers of validators around the world in some of them. In Cosmos, for example, there's a limit on all of these networks on how many validators can be on the network. That helps keep the transaction time down and makes Cosmos have very high transactions per second. Whereas something like Ethereum, where there's many, many, many more nodes, it may be a little bit slower than Cosmos because there's so many validators around the world. And there's way more complex ways that they're working on scaling. Ethereum, for example, is working on ZK rollups. There's layer 2s for Ethereum as well. So some of these transactions, maybe they're occurring on like side networks, side channels, and then they're being rolled up, so to speak, into bigger transactions, which are validated on the main network. That's kind of how they're approaching scaling at a very basic level. There's a lot to that, though.
I think we'll have a question from Kayut. Kayut, you can speak now to the mic, so please ask a question. Kayut and Nichi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Like, I will drop the question in the chat box. Like, I'm writing it. I'm already typing the question.
All
Hello.
right, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
can hear you. Okay, if any other person has any questions, please do feel free to use the chat box or request to speak. Yeah, Brenda, I think someone has a question for you. Okay, so this person is asking. So, when people don't specify which of the chains which of the chain wallets you should send. So, how do you know the chain you are supposed to send? As a beginner, maybe I'm working with a project and the project is asking to send my wallet, and I don't know which of the wallets asking to send or which chain it belongs to. Like, how do I know the chain this wallet belongs to?
On from the exchange, is that the
Person didn't specify whether from exchange or from just.
Yeah, let's see. So, is that different than the other question about the wallets?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The exchange where you're buying the tokens with fiat, it'll usually tell you or have some indication of what network that token is available on, and usually it's pretty straightforward, and it tells you make sure that this is the right address here, and with these Cosmos tokens, it's very standard, like I mentioned. So Cosmos, you can only withdraw it to the Cosmos network, which is in your Kepler wallet. If you click this copy address, you can see Cosmos here. That would be my Cosmos address, and it starts with Cosmos. If it's injective, for example, like I gave before, injective is on the Ethereum network, and I can actually withdraw injective. If I have a MetaMask, which is linked to the Ethereum blockchain, that's an Ethereum wallet. It has an ERC20 token, which is a Ethereum address. So I could put my Ethereum address in here and withdraw it, or I can withdraw it to the injective network, which would be my Kepler wallet here. And I would look for the injective, and that would be my address that starts in INJ. You can see here. And that's how it works typically for all the Cosmos chains. Most of them, though, with the Cosmos ones, you won't have a choice. Most of them are only on Cosmos networks. There's not too many Cosmos tokens on this Femex exchange, but Binance has most of them. I think you guys have access to Binance in Africa. I'm in the United States. I don't have access to Binance. Otherwise, I would show you, because that's probably the exchange that everyone uses. Here's another one, Terra, for example. That's another Cosmos token. So that's in my Kepler wallet, and I would just It's actually, oh, I don't have Terra on here actually.
Okay,
But
I think. Okay, sorry. The person is asking again that what's the difference between TRX20 and ERC20 and BIP20? He doesn't understand what are these. Should I call it terminological abbreviations?
oh, okay, yeah. Like, what are the differences between all of these? These are all different proof of stake blockchain networks. TRC20, that's the Tron network. So Tron they have their own wallets, I believe. So instead of this Kepler wallet, Tron probably has its own wallet. Yeah, see, there's this Tron wallet. I don't have a Tron wallet, but so you would download the Tron chain wallet, and then you could withdraw the TRC20. The ERC20 just means it's a token on the Ethereum network, and MetaMask is an Ethereum wallet. So this is my Ethereum address right here that I can copy and paste. Solana is another network. They have a different wallet, I think. There's so many different wallets. Solana, this Phantom wallet is a Solana wallet, so I can create a wallet on Phantom just like I showed you guys on Kepler before, and that would be for all of the Solana tokens. Polygon, same thing for basically all of these. They're different blockchains where you might need different wallets to hold those tokens in, and you want it just depends what token you're looking at and where you want to put it. So this Solana, for example, right? I can only withdraw that to a Solana wallet, and I would have to create a Phantom wallet or any of the other Solana wallets. So if you just Google, what wallets can I hold Solana, you'll see a bunch of different wallets here. I can have this Math wallet, the Atomic wallet, the Phantom one, which was the one I just showed you here, Exodus, Soulflare. There's usually a lot of different wallets for each blockchain, and you just want to make sure that you are withdrawing that token to the correct wallet. Otherwise, it's going to get lost. I know that's a little confusing, though.
That's a question. Let's see if there's any other questions. Okay. Coyote is asking, how can we trade those tokens? There are several exchanges which tokens can be traded, or several dexes. Like we have a section on DeFi. We have Shade Swap, which can be used to trade most of the tokens on Cosmos chains. We have depending on the blockchain you're interacting with, there are dexes you can use, or you can use some centralized exchange which the tokens are being listed on. And how can it be profitable? Well, we don't offer financial advice here. You have to learn how technical analysis work or fundamental analysis for you to be able to learn how to make profits from your trading. So I don't know if that answers the question, Brenda.
Yeah, as far as where to trade and things like that. Oh yeah, how can we trade those and how can we be profitable? Yeah, that's Coyote. That's a very detailed question, and yeah, I am not a financial advisor, so I'm also not a good trader, so I am not the best person to answer that question. I prefer to just buy tokens that are networks I believe in, that have a good use case, and I'm more of a long-term outlook kind of person where I stake those tokens, and I hope that when the bull run comes, that those networks get a lot of attention and the token price goes up. you can trade them on these exchanges, like I mentioned. This one's Femex, so I can, click on the markets here, and you'll see, like, here's some new tokens that have been listed on the exchange. Here's the top gainers. Here's, all these different tokens are on the exchange. If I want to trade Bitcoin, I can just, click the trade button, and it's going to open up an order book. These are all the sells for the token. These are all the people wanting to buy the token. And, this is the chart of the token price. I can, if I'm a trader, there's all kinds of different analysis you can do, technical analysis and things like that, based on the price movements, based on the moving averages, based on support and resistance levels. There's a whole, you would need to take like a whole course on trading to become a profitable trader. It's very, very complicated. But the basics is buy low and sell high. That's the best answer I can give. Buy when the token's low and sell it when it's high.
One question from Imas Kings. So as a beginner, how do I get into cryptocurrency? What will be the first step?
Yeah, what would be the first step? It depends if you're interested in what aspects of cryptocurrency you're interested in. It depends if you're interested in the technology side or the trading side, more the financial side. I definitely agree with some of the things that have been said here. Get familiar with, a centralized exchange like Binance. Maybe, put a little bit of just a little bit of money in there of fiat, and just get familiar with how to buy and sell tokens. I think that's a good first step for anyone. Understand how to get money from your bank account into the exchange. Understand how to download these different wallets like I showed, and then, withdraw the tokens from the exchange to a wallet. And then the different things you can do with the wallets, like staking and sending transactions to other wallets. So just getting familiar with the basics of buying, selling, sending, and the different wallets and stuff. I think that's probably the best first step.
Answers the question, yeah, I hope that answers the question. Okay, guys, does anyone have any other questions before we let Brain and go for today? And make sure you're following Brenda Whispernode on Twitter. If you are yet to follow them, I'll be dropping a link now. Make sure you all are following them. They are one of the sponsors of this event, the biggest sponsors for this event. So they deserve a follow and a shout out on Twitter as well.
All right. Thank you guys so much for having me. I know that was a lot in a short period of time. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message in here. Just tag me and I'll try to answer the best I can. But thank you guys for having me, and good luck with the rest of the workshops.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for joining us. And yeah, do have a wonderful day.
All right. Bye, guys.
Guys, okay, I think someone is raising his hand. In case she's the one raising the hand. Okay, I believe everyone has learned one or two things from today's section. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen to receive and send cryptocurrencies. I'm thinking of using my Binance so you guys can check it out and see how it works. basic step. Okay, just give me a minute while I share my screen using my mobile phone. I'm going to use my Binance so you guys can see how it works. Can everyone hear me? Okay, now I'm going to be sharing my screen. So I'll be using my Binance to show you guys how it works. Okay, just a moment. Okay. Okay, I'm coming. Let me make sure that just going to navigate to the Binance one, so I don't need to share what I don't need to share in a moment. So now I'm going to be showing my Binance, guys, so you guys can see everything on how it works. And I don't think I'll be okay. Let me do that now.